What is up, guys? This is going to be an intro to animation, so we're going to get our hero running in place. So to start, let's go into our CC hero class. We're going to first create a function that's going to act as a supporting function. It's going to return to us an array of SK textures, which are the images contained in these atlases here. So this function that we're going to make is going to be called frames for animation. And it is going to take a name, which is going to be the name of the given atlas. So for instance, we can pass in the string run or jump or slide. And it's going to return to us an array of SK texture. So from here on out, it's kind of boilerplate code for this function. So it's something you just need to kind of get written out. And it's only something you need to know this once. So some of it might seem confusing, but let's just go through some of the steps here. So I'm going to grab the atlas of the given name that we pass in. So it's going to be let atlas equal sk texture atlas. It's going to be the one named the name. So whatever name we pass in here. And we also, because we have this at 2x here, the at 2x is basically designating that the images in this atlas are for the retina display. It just makes things more clear and crisp. So let's add that in here really fast. So we're gonna do this. So we're gonna put the name in here, but we're also going to add in that 2x there, just to the at 2x, just to make sure we get the right name. So after we have that atlas grabbed, we are going to create an empty array of SK textures. And then the basic idea is we're going to sort through every image in this atlas, and we're going to add it to the frames array as an SK texture instead of the format that the atlas has it in. So we're going to grab the number of images that we have in this atlas. So it's going to be let num images equal atlas.texturenames.count. And this is just going to allow us to loop through the number of times that we need. So we can say for bar I equals 0, I is less than num images, I plus plus. And now we're going to grab the image within that atlas. So first, we need to do this. The way Apple has it set up is you need to grab the name of each of these images. That's why these atlases have this naming convention. How it has a tag like run __ 000 001, so on and so forth. So we're going to say let texture name equal the name that we passed in __ 00. And then the current number that we're at in the for loop. So that's going to give us, that looks a little bit confusing, but I think if you break it down, it's pretty simple. I mean, you just have the name that we passed in, you have this underscore convention right here, and then the number we're at currently in the for loop. So that's going to grab that name. Then we're just going to do frames.append. So this is going to add whatever element we put in these parentheses to the array. And I'm going to say atlas.texture named texture name. Okay, so I know that was a mouthful. Again, this is mostly boilerplate code, so you just need a very rough understanding of this. Then you can always reference back to it when you need to write this again. And then that should be it. So then we can return the frames from that. So awesome. Now we have this supporting function here. And now we can implement our animate run class. So to do this, let's create the frames for our run animation by calling this function. So we're going to create a variable that's just called frames, and we're going to get frames for animation run. So awesome, that part's done for us. So this now contains an array of SK textures of the run atlas right over here. So now we can create the action. So we can say let run equal sk action dot repeat action forever, because we want this animation to keep looping over and over again. And sk action has a function called animate with textures. and we want to do the one that has 4 options right here. So what we do is we just put in the frames that we just got from Frames for Animation for the textures. We want to, it's time per frame is the amount of time it's going to spend on each frame. Pretty self-explanatory. I found a good time is 0.03 for the run animation. For resizing, this just means the character is going to resize itself for the animation. If you put this to false, it kind of gives you a screwy animation because each of the different pictures is a different size. So that would like kind of squish it all into this little rectangle. So put this to true instead so it resizes itself and looks more natural. And for restore, also put true. This doesn't matter as much. Basically what that means is it returns to its original shape after the animation is done. And last but not least, we can just do run action run. And we just need to find a way to call this function. So if we go back into the game scene, for touches began, after ground.start, we can say hero.animate run. And so that should get the hero running in an infinite loop. So let's see if we did all this correctly. So now if we click, awesome. So we have our hero running. That's a pretty good animation and it's looking pretty good so far. So in the next videos, we're going to implement the other animations, and yeah, that's animations.